You know, last week we brought you the story of a tough Bend wrestler who happens to be deaf. Well, tonight we introduce you to yet another triumphant young man who recently walked through the doors of a Central Oregon gym. Rachel Azevedo has more.
The Scots 119-pound wrestler may not be able to look his opponents eye to eye, but Robbie Foster has no fear, despite taking on wrestlers twice his height.
I couldn't do any other sports, so I just, tried it out. Got some compliments, felt good, so I just came back for a second year.
This motivational sophomore was actually inspired by another wrestler in his hometown of Salem. Casey McAllister wrestled without legs and took second place at the state tournament. Foster's legs were amputated in an effort to save his life. At just 20 months old, he became ill with meningitis, and it was spreading up in his body.
They gave me a 35% chance of living. I lived out of that, went into a coma for 8 days, and woke up. I did okay, so they gave me a walker. And after about 5 years, I just started walking without it, and here I am.
Off the mat, Foster wears his prosthetic legs, and he says most people think he's a pretty average guy. But when he wrestles, he draws a lot of attention and curiosity. His opponent on this night was Levi Brinkley, and even at 15 years old, Brinkley had a mature attitude.
It was a new experience for me, and I'm glad that I got to go through that experience.
In their match, Brinkley beat Foster by technical fall, but not because Foster lacks any strength. Without legs, his upper body is much bigger than that of his opponent.
I think it's like a disadvantage for him because he doesn't have more of like a spread for his legs for balance.
He's probably one of the buffest guys I've ever faced, so it's not that much of a loss for me. I'm all right with it.
Foster doesn't keep track of his exact record, but he knows he's won more than he's lost this season. His goal is to eventually be as good as the wrestler he admires most.
I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm going to try and see how I do.
In Redmond, Rachel Azevedo, KOHD Sports.
And Robbie is undefeated against meningitis, which is something to be proud of. Wow, what a guy.